Ladies and gentlemen, this video is scheduled for one look featuring the Indi Cosmetic face base. I am your host for Wrestling with Beauty, the Broke Beauty Guru, the new voice of SWA, the Ring Queen, Lexa Rose. Okay, so today's look is inspired by the icon. And of course, I'm going to be doing a look featuring Indi Cosmetics face base. I obviously got it in white for obvious reasons. And of course, I'm going to be throughout the whole entire tutorial giving you guys some little fun trivia about the man, the myth, the icon, Sting. So without further ado, let's cut this bad boy open. This is also going to be partially a Indi Cosmetic face base review, but I just wanted to show you guys product. I'm a very big fan of Indi Cosmetics. I'm also going to be using the Flip It and Reverse It palette as well to create my eye look. But let's take a look at the actual product itself. This is the packaging that it comes with. Very beautiful, very stylish, very Indi. I love it. And this one I got in white, obviously. Pop this bad boy open, and these are colored foundations. This isn't just, you know, the bombastic longwear that I am like in love with. This is actually with the consistency of a foundation, colored foundation. That's what it looks like. Of course, pure white. I'm gonna shake it up a bit. You know, just kind of get the products working. But that's gonna be the last thing I put on my face. Hi, Beans. Hi. It's my cat. She's sitting right there looking at me. But we're going to start with the eyes first and then start with the rest of the face, only because, of course, I want to do kind of a glam Sting look. Sting, but make it glam. But, bitch! You know, of course. Okay, so everybody has pretty much at least one time in their life, and they're all over YouTube, everybody's done the classic Sting tutorial. But the thing that makes mine different is the fact that I'm glamming the F out of this. This is going to be like a drag Sting look. So, of course, we're going to start with our P. Louise basic black base. But I definitely want to do a really pretty kind of e-girl kind of look too. Because Sting, everybody's done the classic Sting look, but I kind of want to give it something.
Or some such bullshit.
Okay? So no judge me. We're just going to fix these eyebrows really quickly. And of course, the look usually requires the whole entire lid all the way up to the brows to be covered in black. I don't want to do that. Again, I want to focus on being glam as well as, you know, being Sting, if that makes sense, you know? Okay, so we also are going to use our P. Louise base in white to do pretty much the brow bone and just kind of give it a highlight. Again, this is going to be kind of a drag look, so this is going to be a little wild. Not so much out of my comfort zone because I'm just going to be dealing with a lot of whites and black lines, which is fine. But without further ado, let's just start prepping the face. And we'll just kind of go over some little tasty trivia, as I like to call it, about the man known as Sting. Of course, we know he's an icon. He was also known as the franchise of WCW, and with good reason. You know, one of the more iconic wrestlers when you think about makeup is definitely Sting, especially when he had started with kind of what you'd call kind of a surfer gimmick, and it was a very colorful. What? You want to go outside? Ugh. I don't trust people outside to freaking keep the doors closed. Go. So basically, Sting kind of went through a bit of a transformation. He, you know, of course, had his surfer moment, or I kind of call it the Ultimate Warrior from Wish kind of moment. Hate to say it like that, but basically he kind of did have similarities to the Ultimate Warrior, except for the fact that his hair was like short and blonde. And not just like any blonde, like, you know, natural blonde. I mean, this was like burn your roots bleach blonde. Thank God he grew up and realized that that wasn't going to be really good for his hair. That's why he still has a decent hairline. Um, Unlike some who still bleach them. I'm not going to mention their names, but they don't really do it with flair now, do they? I'm priming my face with the Glassy Touch and Soul Pretty Filter Glassy Skin Balm. That's to prep the face. Now we're going to go with the eyes. Of course, we're going to just do a little bit on the eyes, and then, of course, the P. Louise for the black, but we're just going to kind of put this all over the eyelid. Okay, so Sting, real name Stephen Borden, was born in 1920. Okay, so the man named Sting was once known as Stephen Borden, who was born March 20th, 1959 in Omaha, Nebraska. I don't know how accurate these are because, you know, of course, some of these wrestling sources are ass. But, you know, some of the numbers might be different. I mean, trust me, I've been looking, but these are some of the more uniform facts. Again, born 1920, born March 20th, 1959 in Omaha, Nebraska, under the name Stephen Borden. Okay, so I'm going to highlight the brow bone really quickly, and I'm going to be using this highlighter, only because I like the color. It's really pretty. And I'm just going to use the same brush and just pop it right on the brow bone. Again, this is going to be kind of an e-girl drag look, so it doesn't really matter how neat this highlight on the brow bone is going to be. It's just to kind of highlight the brow bone. Okay, so I'm going to be using my P. Louise base to do the line work. Again, just for the eyes, because I'm doing the eyes first before I do the rest of the face. I'm just going to put a little bit on the back of my hand, like so. And then we're going to kind of just do a nice little fun bat wing liner. Now again, Sting has gone by many names, such as Sting the Stinger, the franchise of WCW. The man called Sting is one of the most recognizable and unique faces in sports entertainment. I mean, you can't think of wrestling without thinking of Sting. His makeup is just so iconic that you just know it just by the face. Okay, like somebody could literally draw his face paint and you'll know automatically who he is. I'm just gonna go in really quickly with Badonk from the Flip It and Reverse It palette really quickly. I'm just gonna put that to set the lids, only because I'm starting to get creasing and we don't want the creasing. No, 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 no. So just gonna go back in and kind of buff out these crease lines, and we're just gonna kind of put this just all over the lid. Badonk came out a little bit too yellow, so I'm just gonna go into my Talo Beauty Sakura Picnic palette, and we're just gonna hit up Charmy Kitty, and we're just gonna put that on the inner corners of the lid. So much better. Now, just because Sting was known as the franchise of WCW doesn't mean that he hasn't had, you know, his time in the WWE, which was probably one of his most notable ones because of the fact that he was always a part of every other company besides the WWE. So it was a really big thing when he finally came in and basically let his presence be known that he is the icon Sting. Fair enough, right? Right. I'm going to be going in with my Maven Beauty Cosmic Drip, and I'm going to be hitting up this blue color because it's got really pretty shifts, and I'm just going to put it right in the middle so that it blends with the rest of the black I'm adding. Like I said, this is a e-girl kind of slash drag look that I kind of wanted to add my own spin to it. I wasn't going to do any normal. Wait, you thought I was going to really do just the normal Sting face?
He needs some milk!
Nope. So we're going to go in with this. Again, Sting has worked for companies such as TNA, now known as Impact Wrestling, the WWE, WCW, and of course now he is currently in AEW. We know that Sting has, as weird as it sounds, he's been around. So Sting has definitely left a footprint in the wrestling business that cannot and will not ever be duplicated by anybody else. Okay, again, this is gonna be like kind of an e-girl drag look, so like, forgive me if it looks a little girly. It's supposed to. It's an e-girl look. But we're gonna go right into our P. Louise black base, and we're going to just kind of do the liner, but we're not doing the normal like swoop up liner. We're gonna kind of bring it down a little bit, kind of give me like the sad puppy dog eyes. So we're just gonna kind of bring it down a little bit from here, and then bring it out sideways. Now this is gonna be a huge wing, but I just want to kind of get the line work in. This is gonna be a very severely precise look because, you know, it's Sting. So yeah. Okay. So now that we've got the eyes done, I know it's so simple, it's so easy, it's so... Maybe it's Maybelline. But this is the look so far. But let's keep going with our fun Sting trivia.
Oh my God!
But let's keep going with our fun Sting trivia. Again, everything else is going to be done after I apply the face base. But this is what it looks like so far. It's not even, but you know what? It still looks cute though. We're going to go right back into here, and we're just going to kind of intensify the blue, which is kind of right here, but try not to get it in the black liner. Just kind of throw it right there. Because I want this to be like a whole, you know, obviously black and white look, but the blue kind of gives it a nice little pop. So, of course, we're just going to throw that in there. As you can tell, the part of the eyes are done. The rest of it's not going to be finished until I'm done with the, you know, rest of the makeup. So, I'm going to be applying this with a brush. That's because I see a lot of creators using a brush. I feel like if I use a beauty blender, it's just going to kind of fade it out and not, like, give me that pigment I want. But let's keep going with more Sting trivia. Sting actually trademarked his name in 1995 specifically for use in wrestling. I guess because he kept getting, like, confused with the singer Sting from the Police. So, of course, you know, he was just like, I gotta trademark this shit, bitch. Okay. He's not about to get sued by the police.
Get on with it! Yes! Get on with it!
That took a minute. We're gonna just pop the face base on this foundation brush and ooh, pardon me. Alright. I would be nervous, but I know this stuff is really good, and of course it's like foundation. It works like foundation, so we're just gonna pop that right on the face. Sting has also been known for being a member of, obviously, the Wolfpack. We all remember that, you know, controversial moment in WCW. Now, you don't want to bring this anywhere down the neck. The whole point is it's a mask, so we're just going to leave it right there and end it right on the chin. Now, the best thing about this look is the simple fact that you don't have to really worry about contouring too much or anything like that. It's just, you know, applying the makeup, and of course that's going to be the biggest like hurdle, is trying to get the makeup here. So let's just get it everywhere else on the face first before I have to like, I have a funny feeling I'm going to have to go back in and kind of like touch up the liner. But for now, let's just apply this to the face completely. I haven't even done the brows yet. The brows I'm going to do after. And as you can tell, this is why I did the makeup first, because see how it's blending with the P. Louise base that I applied. Now I'm just using this brush to just apply everything. I'm going to blend everything out later on with a blending foundation brush. But I just want to kind of get the makeup on, and then of course everything else will come later. As you can see, I'm kind of going around my brows, not too, you know, precisely, because again, this is all going to be like kind of blended out and set and stuff, and it just kind of makes for easier application once I put once I put the setting powder and everything and the line work and stuff. But I'm really scaring myself here. I shouldn't be. I really shouldn't, because I have been wanting to try this foundation for quite some time. So time to put on your big girl panties, Miss Girl, and show the world what you're made of. Go little rock star. Okay, so again, Sting was also a member of the Wolfpack and the Millionaires Club. Okay. I'm just gonna take whatever is left of this and put it on this. I love this from Taylor Beauty. It is a foundation paw brush, and we're just gonna kind of put wherever in spots that look kind of a little empty. But remember, keep the line where the hairline is a little crisp, only because that's just how Sting wears his makeup. He has like a crisp line around the face. And of course, we're going to just set all this as soon as we blend all of this together. I feel like fluffy brushes like this are better at blending, especially a foundation like this kind of color or pigment. So of course we're gonna take a little bit more, and we're just gonna kind of intensify the white a little bit, and then we're gonna just set everything. Okay, so now I got a damn beauty blender, and hopefully this kind of does a better job. I didn't want to use a beauty blender because I was afraid that it was going to over blend everything, but the brushes weren't giving what they were supposed to give. So Miss Girl had to grab her beauty blender. And there we go. Now we've got blendage. Okay, so now we're going to set everything with our Beauty Bakery setting powder, and we're just going to kind of grab this fluffy brush. I know, but you know what? I paid a lot of money for it, so unless you're going to buy me some brushes, get the caliente. And we're going to heavily plot this. Now, a fun fact about Sting is he gained overnight like fame by basically going toe-to-toe with Ric Flair for an hour at the very first Clash of Champions on March 27, 1988. I was only 7 at the time. That's wild. Whatever you do, do not tap off any excess powder. You want every little bit on this face. You want to set as much of this pale skin as possible. It'll just make it easier for the liner to adhere to the face. Now my rule is when I'm applying powder, it's not fully set if the brush isn't going across the skin easily. If it kind of like feels like it's sticking a little bit, put more powder. You want to help a bitch out? That's my Cash App. This year has not been kind to my husband and I. He was out of work for a while. We both been. I mean, pandemic, am I right? But it is what it is. Okay, now that you look like you could be a part of the Black Parade, now to get to the fun part. When I was a young boy.
Bruh.
Anyways, as we know, Sting kind of became an overnight sensation after his Clash of Champions match back in '88 with Ric Flair. Another tasty little trivia about him is he was trained by Red Roland Bastion. That's also helpful to know. But he debuted with the Ultimate Warrior back then named Rock. Not The Rock, but Rock as the Blade Runners. Gotta love tasty 80s trivia. Pero entonces, we just appreciate it. So what I'm going to start first with is obviously back to my P. Louise basic black base, and of course we're going to kind of do the bottom lash line, and of course we're going to cover this whole entire thing, but I want to kind of bring it out a little bit. One thing I don't like about liner brushes is when there's that one stray kind of bristle. It just kind of wants to be like, screw you up, biatch. Alright, so I'm going to go in with my Sakura Picnic, and I'm going to just hit up Cinnamon Roll, which is really, really pretty matte white. And we're just going to put that right under the eyelid just to kind of fill in this white gap a little bit. Okay, so we're going to go back in, and we're going to just kind of re-darken up these black lines. And then we're just going to go right into our Flip It and Reverse It palette in Searchia and set all this fun stuff. Okay, so as you can tell, I started on my lips because I figured that's going to be the easiest thing I can do with regards to the Sting makeup. You'll see a lot of looks with the soul patch, but does it look like I have a fucking soul patch? Does it? Does it? I don't fucking think so. So we're just going to kind of keep it simple. We're just going to go with the classic. You know, I know that some people do variations where they do the drip down the corners of the lips. I don't want to do that. This is kind of an e-girl glam, you know, drag look. So we don't want to go too Sting, but still kind of remain, kind of keep the Sting integrity intact. So I'm just going to obviously apply the P. Louise to my lips, and we're going to keep going with more fun facts. He has appeared in all 10 WCW video games, 11 if you do count Mayhem for a Game Boy. So that man has had more appearances in a video game than, well, not as much as Super Mario or Sonic, but you know. Yeah, no. I think I'm going to do an ombre lip to kind of give it that more glam drag look. I'm thinking about overlining it, but I don't want to kind of, I'm really bad at overlining, so. And I don't want to ruin the obvious integrity of this Sting look, so. Of course. Okay, me gusta. Me gusta. We're going to continue with the rest of the look. This kind of came out a little bit better than I anticipated. I was really, really, terrified. For obvious reasons, because, you know, this This is the icon. You don't want to mess up something like this. Oh no! I got eyeshadow on my bag. That'd be clean. Alright, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the highlight first. Since everything's pretty much set. Only because there's really limited to no blush in this look. It's not meant to be a blush-ish type of look. It's supposed to be kind of a half and half-ish kind of look. So we're just going to take our damn beauty blender, kind of smush that in there for a little bit, and then give ourselves some highlight. Alright, so now that we've got the wet highlight on there, we're just going to go in with this stuff because I like the purple shimmer. It kind of goes with the whole Sting theme. I just want to plop it on before I do the line work, because once I do the line work, I'm not going to be able to put this stuff on. It'll mess up all the line work. So we're just going to kind of throw it on in there. No shame in the game. It's all going to be covered up with lines. My face is already looking pale face ghost. So we're just using this as a base to put the highlight. And like I said, the purple just kind of goes really well with black. So we want to make this as glamorous and drag and shimmery and e-girlish as possible. Now when I contour, which I'm going to do before I obviously put the line work in, I'm going to line with obviously brown, because you don't want to use gray. Gray just kind of looks weird. Brown kind of gives it more of a natural contour, but I wanted to do all this first because, again, when you put highlight on top of stuff like this, especially if it's like a theatrical kind of look, it kind of destroys whatever you put on there first, which is why I had to go back in with the black on this part to kind of, you know, re-intensify the black. So, of course, this is all getting done first. We're just going to grab our contour brush, if I can find one, because I do want to define the nose. So we're going to go right into Fruit Baskets, which is kind of like an orangey brown, but it'll intensify as I go along. Okay, so now I'm going to go back into Searcha, and just a little bit I'm going to apply to kind of deepen up that contour. Now I'm going to try and use the same technique on my cheeks using the same exact colors. We're going to just use the Fruit Baskets color and kind of chisel our cheekbones a little bit. Once again, we're going to go right into Searcha, and not too much, just lightly dust on top of that. And I don't want to add too much blush, even though this is kind of an e-girl look, but just a little bit won't hurt. So we're going to go with this color called Blah. Yeah, it's a bright pink. So we're just going to use a little bit, tap off the excess, and just put it on your hand before you throw it on your face. I only say this because it's like once you put it on your skin, it's going to be a lot of pigment. So just kind of drag it on your hand a little bit and then, you know, pop it where you want it to go. Remember, nothing too crazy because this is supposed to be a Sting look, and Sting doesn't wear blush. He wears red makeup though, but he doesn't wear blush. So now we're going to get to the fun part. We are about to apply the lines, and we're going to finish up with some more Sting trivia. Sting can speak Spanish. Hola, mi gente. But, you know, again, fun facts that, you know, you probably don't know about the icon Sting. As a matter of fact, before we even do that, I'm going to go back in with the eyebrow brush that I use, and we're just going to, we got to put in eyebrows. We have to. Like, my eyebrows look naked and brown. I think it's pretty cool, and I think it's also important too, because especially if I'm pretty sure he's traveled down to Mexico, which is the wrestling, one of the wrestling capitals of the world. I'm just applying the P. Louise base to my brows. He also he debuted in the WWE in 2014 for Survivor Series, if you remember that iconic moment. Because I remember, you know, a lot of my friends saying he's never gonna be in the E. He'll never sell his soul to the devil. That is Vincent Kennedy McMahon. We're almost done with this look. Thankfully, this has probably been one of my more messier looks. In a good way and in a bad way, and in everything in between. As you can tell, there's like, my whole hand is like covered in like black freaking P. Louise base and stuff. It's a mess. It's a mess. But, you know what? I like it. It looks good. Alright, so now we're heading to the home stretch. We're just doing the line work, and then we're going to just set everything. Again, blush, highlight, contour was done all before the line work, because if I do it after the line work, it's going to mess up all the line work. So, we're going to grab our liner brush. The shitty liner brush. That's okay. I make $1 out of 15 cents. I'm the broke beauty guru for a reason. We're going to get couple more fun facts. He's a published author. Who knew? But also, Sting is part of both the TNA Hall of Fame as well as the WWE Hall of Fame. Now, I'm just going to kind of pop these lines in. That's okay. These aren't supposed to be symmetrical. Although Sting has been doing this look for years, so of course his looks symmetrical. Mr. Borden, I give you the propers. Again, I'm not doing the drips down the mouth. This is supposed to be a glam look. But he is also known for having the line work down the mouth. Of course, then there's another line that kind of goes down, and we're going to follow the contour. Follow the contour. And we're just going to kind of bring it. Again, we're just placing the sketch. And of course, he has line work on the side. So what we're going to do is we're going to just kind of take this wing and we're going to bring it up and swoosh. Then, this is the fun part. We're going to take that same wing, and of course, he has it kind of deep in the contour. We're not going to do all that. Bam. Now, the line work doesn't have to be exact. It just has to look appropriate to the makeup look. I think the most amusing thing about doing this look is that I'm going to have to pick up my husband later today wearing this. Alright, anyways, we're going to, now see, here's the thing. Like, I want to kind of make it look Sting-ish, but I still want to make it look glam. Okay, so I used my Sim for Senpai lashes from Taylor Beauty, and I'm really thoroughly surprised with how this look came out. I really am. Okay. But I want to change up the lip a little bit because, you know, I like the black, but I'm gonna kind of go with a combo of these two Jeffree Star lips and Triggered and Clout. And I just like the dark purple of Triggered. It kind of matches everything, and I think it looks a lot prettier, more feminine. and makes it look different than just using plain old black. Although the black did provide a nice liner base so it didn't melt into the white, which I like. And we're just going to throw Clout right on top, and it's a gorgeous lavender metallic. Which gives the same effect as using just regular black and white ombre, but it's a little bit more, again, feminine, and kind of gives it a little pop of color to kind of give it that little e-girl look. So I'm really like Sting but drag e-girl. I did that. Me do that. Me gusta. Okay. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Don't forget to pick up my very first book, The Pure Blood Eternal. Don't forget to check my Wattpad for my second story, The Last Venetian Warrior. Follow me on all social medias. I really hope you enjoyed this. Give me a like and thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe. New videos every Monday at 10 a.m. Bonus videos whenever the heck I feel like it. So without further ado, I'm your host for Wrestling with Beauty, the Broke Beauty Guru, the new voice of SWA, the Ring Queen Lexa Rose, saying, keep it Gucci Pucci, bitches.